Dear students, hearty welcome to the online class. So we are discussing the lesson, The Boy Who Solved Wisdom. What was the name of the boy who was selling the wisdom? The name of the boy was Nagendra. And once a boy, a rich merchant's son, went to the shop of Nagendra and bought a piece of wisdom for a nickel coin, and his name was Babu. So what happened? His father did not like it. He went and quarreled with Nagendra and gave back the wisdom, the piece of paper, and he took back the nickel coin and came home. Okay. Now there was a condition by which the nickel coin was given to the father of Babu. The agreement was that Babu will never use the wisdom he got uh, in his life, okay, in the rest of his life. Okay. Now, what was the wisdom given to Babu? That he would not stand when two people fight each other in that place. Okay. Now, since he cannot use this wisdom, he will have to stand and watch when two people fight. He cannot get away from that place. Now, what happened after a few days? The king of the land had two queens. Okay, the king of that particular land, he had two queens who used to fight each other, and the queens had a lot of maids. Queen A and Queen B had their own maids. Now, what happened? They used to fight each other. The queens doesn't like each other, though the king like both of them. They don't like each other. Okay, neither the maids, and maids also used to get into fight between each other. Why? Because the queens doesn't like each other, thus the maids also doesn't like each other. Okay. It so happened that one day both queens sent their maids to buy some vegetables. So the maids of both the queens came to the same shop, and they were both of them were quarreling for the same pumpkin, and it was accidentally seen by Babu, and he had to stand and watch the fight. Okay. At the end of the fight, what happened? Both the maids said to Babu that you are the witness and you have to support me. And both of them said to Babu like this. And they went and complained to the king, and the queens also became very furious, and the king had no other chance other than to call Babu, who is the witness. No, so the maids told that there is a boy called Babu who has seen us fighting, and please call him and ask. He is the witness. Now the problem of Babu is that if he support one queen or one maid, the other maid or the maids and the other queen will kill him. If he support the one queen, he cannot support now both of them. That is the problem now. Now, if he support one, the other will kill him. That is the problem. Now, finally, what is the situation? Now, both both Gupta and Gupta and Babu both are in a panic. They are in confusion. Now, what to do? So, now, finally, the son said, so Babu said, let us go and ask Nagendra for a piece of wisdom to solve this puzzle, this problem. Okay, he may have some problem for, he may have some solution for this problem. So, the father and the son went to Nagendra and said that please help us. Now, how can you help us? So, what was the wisdom given to them by Nagendra? Nagendra told, when they call you to the court, pretend to be insane, pretend to be a mad person, and don't answer anything that they ask. pretend to be a mad person. Okay, now we move on to the ninth paragraph. The next day, the king called the witness. He and his minister asked Babu various questions, but he wouldn't answer any of them. So now the king called the witness. Witness means Babu. The king called Babu, and his ministers asked Babu various questions. So they are cross questioning the witness, Babu, regarding who began the fight and how was the fight and all those things. Now, following the advice of Nagendra, our Babu kept quiet. He did not speak anything. He pretended to be an insane person. But he wouldn't answer any of them. He did not answer. He merrily babbled and uttered nonsensical syllables till the king lost his patience and drove him out of the courtroom. So he babbled, means he produced some noises. He did not say anything clearly. Okay, with the nonsensical syllables, some kind of accents and all those things. So at last the king lost his patience. So whatever question is asked to this Babu, he respond in an insane way. So the king lost his patience and he was thrown out of the courtroom. Babu was delighted by the success of the ruse, the trick. Ruse means the trick. So Babu was very happy that his life was saved. He told everyone about Nagendra's great wisdom. Now he is going to advertise. He is advertising the wisdom of Nagendra because Babu's life is saved by the wisdom of Nagendra, which soon became a buzzword in the market, a busy word in the market. All used to say that Nagendra's wisdom is very good, and he is selling great stuff that even would save one's life. Now, please take page number 14. We move on to the 10th paragraph. Okay. So, kindly read the text several times and listen to this video class and try to get the content of the lesson. Okay. Now, here you see, now Gupta was not pleased. The father of Babu is not pleased. He saw that his son would have to feign madness always, or else the king would find out he had been tricked. Okay, now there is another problem. Now, Babu should be a mad person now. He shall not be a normal person, because if he behave like a normal person, the king would arrest him and his life will be in danger, because he has tricked or he has fooled the king of the land. So the punishment will be severe. So this is the another problem that is faced by Gupta. Okay. He would certainly chop off his son's head, and if he find it out. If he find out that Babu was fooling the king, definitely the king would call him and will chop off his head. So back they went to Nagendra for more wisdom. So again they decide to rely on the wisdom of Nagendra. For another 500 rupees. So another 500 rupees was asked by Nagendra, and Nagendra advised them. Another advice was given to them. Go back to the king when he is in a good mood and tell him the whole story. So now you have to tell the entire story to the king when he is in a good mood. In a bad mood, you shall not go and tell. Then definitely his life will be in danger. See how intelligent our Nagendra is. Okay. And you just tell the entire story, and the king will be very happy to hear the story and will send you back. Okay, go back to the king when he is in a good mood and tell him the whole story. He will find it amusing, it very interesting, and will forgive you. So the king will definitely forgive you if he is in a good mood, if he hears the story. But make sure that he is in a mood to listen. So he is in a very good mood of laughter, of is in a funny mood. And so Babu followed the advice, found the king in a merry mood, and told him the story. The king laughed a lot and forgave him. Okay. Now at the end, the king forgave our Babu for his trick played on king and the ministers. We move on to the 11th paragraph. Then the king, who was intrigued by what he had heard of Nagendra in the market, sent for him and asked if he had any more wisdom to sell. Okay, now the king calls Nagendra. Okay, he came to know. Intrigued means he came to know about the wisdom of Nagendra and about his business. Okay, now Nagendra was called to the court of king, and he asked, king asked whether there is any more wisdom to sell. The boy said, "Of course, I have plenty to sell. I have lot of wisdom to sell, especially to a king. So I have a special kind of wisdom to sell it to a king. But my fee would be 1,00,000. So you will have to pay me 1,00,000 of rupee for the wisdom. 100,000 rupees. So you have to send me 100,000 rupees or 1,00,000 rupee for the wisdom that I give you." The king paid him 100,000, and the boy gave him a piece of paper on which he had written, "Think deeply before you do anything." Okay, that was the beautiful wisdom or advice that was given to the king. 1,00,000 rupees wisdom. Think deeply before you do anything. So that also shall be taken to our life. You should think twice before you act. Now the 12th paragraph. The king was so delighted that the advice that he made it his motto. So he took this advice as his motto. His motto means the main idea of his life. Okay. So he had it embroidered on his pillow and engraved on his cups and plates so that he would not forget it. So what the king did with the wisdom, so he embroidered it. He stitched on his pillow cover, and he stitched this wisdom on the pillow cover, and he engraved it on his cups and plates. So everywhere this piece of wisdom is written, so that the king would never forget this 1,00,000 rupees wisdom. Now we move on to the 13th paragraph. Some months later, the king fell ill. So now the king is sick. The minister and one of the queens had been conspiring to get rid of him. Conspiring means so they were making some secret plot or conspiracy. So they want somehow to kill the king, slain the king. Okay. Now actually the king is sick, and the minister and one of the queens, you see how much the king loved those queens, but the queens and the minister had some idea, some different idea to kill the king and get the nation at their hand. So they bribed the doctor and persuaded him to poison the king's medicine. So they gave some money to the doctor who was treating the king, and told him to put some poison in the medicine that the king is about to take. Okay, see how cunning they are. Now we move on to the 14th paragraph. Now we move on to the last and the 14th paragraph. When the medicine was brought to the king, and he lifted the golden cup to his lips, he read the words engraved on it. So, as the king was about to drink the medicine, he saw what was engraved on the cup, what was written on the cup. Think deeply before you do anything. So that was the message written on the cup. You see, the wisdom of Nagendra was written, engraved on the cups and plates. So definitely he saw it. Without suspecting anything, he thought about the words, lowered the cup, and looked at the medicine in it. So before drinking, the king thought of just thinking about the medicine and just to examine the medicine. He just lowered the cup as to examine the medicine. Okay. The doctor who was watching all this felt nervous. So the doctor was bribed and he is doing this act of cheating, isn't it? So the once you do some mistake, you will be always nervous whether somebody will find it out. So thus the king, thus the doctor also felt that whether the king will catch me. Okay, so whether the king understood whether I have poisoned it. So he is feeling nervous. His guilty conscience made him believe that the king had guessed that his medicine had been poisoned. So his guilt feeling, when you commit some mistake, you will have a feeling that I have done some mistake. That feeling is called guilt feeling. Okay, that guilt feeling and guilt conscience made him to believe that the king had guessed him. Sorry. So the king had already guessed that the medicine is poisoned. While the king was thinking, the doctor threw himself at the feet and confessed to everything and prayed to be forgiven. But the king ordered that the doctor must be arrested. Okay, so now what did the doctor do? He just fell on the feet of king and told that I have made a mistake and kindly forgive me. I have poisoned the medicine. So the king ordered the soldiers to arrest this doctor. And then he sent for the minister and the queen. So definitely the doctor confessed that it is with the advice of the queen and the minister that I have done this mistake. So definitely the queen and the minister was also arrested. Then he sent for the minister and the queen and insisted that they drink the poison in the cup. So, and the cup filled with the poison was given to the queen and to the minister, and both of them died. They too fell at his feet and begged for mercy. He ordered them to be hanged. So, thus, the king told the soldiers to hang them and kill them. And he banished the doctor from his kingdom. And the king told the doctor to get out of his country, and he was thrown out of the kingdom. He made the Nagendra his minister and honored him with wealth. So, lot of money was given to Nagendra, and he was assigned as his minister in his kingdom, in the kingdom of the king. See how the poor boy's wisdom made him the minister of the land. See, so it is the wisdom that is the most powerful weapon that a person can have. Okay, if you have nothing in your hand, if you are wise, you will be saved by your wisdom. So now, dear students, learning is a process by which you get a lot of wisdom, you get a lot of knowledge, and the knowledge is the power for your future. So kindly listen to the classes of the teachers and get as much wisdom as you can get out of them, and that will be the greatest treasure that will be saving your life. Okay, thus we come to the end of this chapter. Hope you have liked the lesson. Now I will send you the question answers of this lesson. Kindly write down the question answers neatly in your notebooks and listen to this video class and read the text several times so that you may not have any doubt regarding the lesson. Have a nice day. God bless you.